Stop what you are doing right now. Listen to me, Virgo. You did not click on this video by chance. It is the exact moment in your spiritual cycle that brought you here today to hear this. I can feel the heavy burden you have been carrying in absolute silence, the quiet tears you've shed when you thought no one was watching. Do not scroll past this, because what I am about to reveal will finally explain why everything has been so incredibly hard for you, and it will change the entire course of your life. You are the one who does everything flawlessly. You work tirelessly behind the scenes, carrying everyone's expectations on your shoulders, yet you constantly hit an invisible brick wall right before succeeding. I see you feeling completely drained, crying in secret frustration when no one else is around, wondering what you did wrong this time. You are like a lighthouse that shines so brightly it attracts violent storms, but right now, an invisible wall of glass is being built around you, allowing your brilliant light to shine out, but stopping the violent wind and rain from ever touching your flame again. You will understand exactly why the things you worked the hardest for were always snatched away at the exact last second. You will discover the true source of that heavy, unexplained exhaustion that drains your physical body after interacting with certain people. You will learn how to immediately identify the silent envy that has been expertly masking itself as friendship or concern. You will witness the invisible siege around your life finally fall apart and lose all of its power. And before this message closes, I will tell you a phrase about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. And you know exactly what I am talking about. Have you ever felt that there is a strange, heavy pressure on your chest that grows heavier right when you are about to finally succeed? As if an invisible hand is aggressively pulling you backward at the last possible second. As if a quiet voice inside you knows perfectly well that not every smile around you is genuine, but your logical mind hasn't been able to accept it yet. What if this endless cycle of agonizing near misses, sudden exhaustion and closed doors isn't just a streak of bad luck, but a clear sign that the universe is aggressively trying to show you the spiritual envy surrounding your Virgo path? While many people pretend that spiritual envy simply doesn't exist, few realize that every delayed victory can carry an unspoken resentful look, an invisible chain and a spiritual siege that hasn't been permanently broken yet. But what if the great turning point in your life lies in this exact revelation that you haven't been able to apply yet? Now think with me. Why does everything stall in my life right when it is about to work out? What if every project that fell apart at the exact last minute, every compliment that left a bitter taste in your mouth, every time someone else took the credit for your flawless work, every wave of heavy exhaustion after certain encounters, and this constant feeling of fighting a brutal invisible battle, were actually signs of a spiritual envy you have ignored for far too long? It was searching for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This digital book is not just a read, it is a revelation created for Virgo, who desires to understand exactly where this draining heavy energy is coming from, sever the invisible ties of envy. The evil eye and silent sabotage shield your aura completely, so you can finally step into your massive life change without fear of being seen. Many Virgos already feel that they need to protect themselves from this energy surrounding them, but they still haven't made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But pay attention. Access may be taken down at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs and directions that can transform your entire path without crippling paranoia, without pointing fingers at anyone, and without ever accepting this exhausting struggle as your permanent destiny. Do not wait for one more massive life change to be blocked at the last second before you finally seek true protection. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the envy that pushed you to tears might be the exact proof that the universe has prepared a victory for you that is simply too massive to go unnoticed. If this first word has already touched something deep inside you, write "My light is protected" down below, not for me, but because another Virgo who is exactly where you were a year ago desperately needs this message to find them tonight. This path of protection has a map, and it is already within your reach in the first pinned comment. I will return to it shortly because you need to understand the mechanism first. Right now, you are still processing this, feeling that familiar chill of recognition on the back of your neck, finally realizing that you were never crazy. And if for some reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I do not receive a single cent for any of these messages I deliver here every day. Nothing at all. And yet they keep coming out every day, for you and for every Virgo who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wants to give back a little of what you received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment right below the digital book. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any amount your heart points to, that is what keeps this channel standing. That is what makes the next message reach another Virgo tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I am waiting for you there, Virgo. I haven't even told you the most important thing yet. There are 4 signs that this invisible siege is already operating over your life, and you will recognize at least one of them. Let's slow things down for a moment. You have been carrying this unspoken tension in your shoulders for so long that you probably convinced yourself it is just how life is supposed to be. But I need you to understand that the heavy resistance you are fighting right now is not natural, and it certainly is not a permanent part of your destiny. Notice how your body reacts to what I'm about to say now. Take a slow, deep breath and let your logical mind step aside for just a minute. Your intuition already knows what I'm about to describe because you have lived through these exact moments, quietly analyzing every detail in your head while pretending everything was fine. There are 4 signs that this invisible siege is actively operating over your life, draining the very essence you need to finally break through. The first sign always hits you in the middle of the day. It is that sudden, crushing exhaustion that strikes you at 3 p.m. right after a seemingly normal conversation with someone who always smiles warmly and asks how you are doing. For some of you, this happens at work, with a colleague who constantly monitors your progress. For others, it comes from a close relative who demands your attention but never celebrates your growth. You called it your own social anxiety, making you exhausted around people. But the universe called it a silent, energetic drain. Then comes the second sign, and this is the one that has pushed you to tears in the dark. It is the agonizing pattern of the stolen finish line. That massive project, plan, or opportunity that was absolutely guaranteed, only to completely fall apart the very morning you were supposed to sign the papers or finally celebrate. You called it a string of terrible luck right at the finish line, constantly overthinking and analyzing what you did wrong. But the universe called it a spiritual siege, a heavy block manifesting exactly when you were about to break free. The third sign is subtle, but Virgo never misses a detail. It is the compliment you received during a family or social gathering that instantly left a cold, bitter taste in your mouth. You felt this strange, unnatural drop in the room's energy, making you instinctively want to shrink and hide your joy just to keep them comfortable. You called it paranoia when you felt someone's smile wasn't entirely genuine, but the universe called it pure spiritual perception, your intuition detecting a disguised attack wrapped in false kindness. And the fourth sign is the heavy isolation. It is the sudden, overwhelming urge to lock yourself in your bedroom on a Friday night, swallowed by a deep sadness that doesn't even feel like your own. You sit there, completely drained, wondering why you feel so incredibly empty when nothing visibly wrong has happened. This wasn't your depression, Virgo. It was the sheer weight of external, dense energy pressing down heavily on your unprotected aura. These 4 signs have a common, hidden origin, and it actually has a name. But before the name, you need something else. There is a powerful path of protection, and I am going to open it right now. Before the name, before the word, because whoever carries the heavy weight of this invisible siege needs deep relief before receiving the final revelation. Stay here. And this is exactly where the path of protection opens. The signs that just hit you did not hit you by chance, Virgo. They are the undeniable proof of that cold weight that isn't just fatigue. It's a dense field that closes in on you whenever your light expands. You have walked through life as if shining too brightly is basically asking to be knocked down, constantly apologizing for your own brilliance and downplaying your massive victories. You have tried to shrink yourself over and over again, silently hoping that if you became small enough, the invisible attacks would finally stop draining your soul. But what if this instinct to constantly hide your joy isn't fear, but the universe desperately teaching you to armor what is about to grow? I have seen Virgos who were exactly where you are right now, carrying the exact same heavy burden in absolute silence. They were brilliant, exhausted, and silently breaking under the heavy weight of an invisible resistance. They genuinely thought they were somehow failing at life, endlessly analyzing their own steps, desperately trying to find a logical reason for the constant blockages and sudden roadblocks. They blamed their own timing, their own choices, and their own supposed streak of terrible bad luck. But I looked at them and saw exactly what I see in you today. The truth was entirely different from what their logical minds had meticulously constructed just to survive the daily pain. The doors that slammed shut exactly at the finish line, the friendships that mysteriously went ice cold when you started growing, the heavy sensation of carrying resentful looks that no one will ever admit to. It is time to cut the cords. I found the map for this in a digital book called The Great Secret, Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This digital book is not a collection of generic advice, but the exact profound key you need to understand exactly where this draining heavy energy is coming from. Sever the invisible ties of envy. The evil eye and silent sabotage shield your aura completely, so you can finally step into your massive life change without fear of being seen. You have to realize right now that envy cannot reach what it can no longer see. A spiritual siege only has power over your life as long as it remains invisible to your eyes. Once you uncover the mechanism, the heavy spell is broken permanently. But you must take the step because this specific cosmic window will only open this door once, and it does not wait for your hesitation. Every single day without this path is another heavy stare you silently absorb, letting it drain the physical energy you desperately need to move forward. Every week without this shield is another massive opportunity that slips away at the last second, because your energy field is completely exposed to hidden sabotage. Every month you delay is another piece of your brilliant light completely dimmed just to make the people around you comfortable, until you can barely recognize your own vibrant reflection. You cannot afford to keep bleeding your sacred energy to people who secretly hope you never reach your true potential. The digital book is waiting for you right now in the first pinned comment. Download it immediately while this spoken word is still vibrating alive inside your spirit, because you desperately need the complete energetic shielding against this invisible siege that only this specific path fully maps out. Breathe deeply for a second. Let that massive release fully settle in your chest. Notice the tension finally leaving your shoulders. You have been that lighthouse taking the brutal force of the storm for far too long, completely convinced that you had to endure the violent wind and freezing rain entirely alone. You took the heavy hits in total silence so no one else would have to suffer. But the invisible wall of glass is rising now, right in front of your tired eyes. You are finally learning that your intense light was never the problem, and your pure ambition was never a flaw. Your beautiful flame just needed the right armor to shine brilliantly, without ever being touched by the storm again. And as I told you earlier, Virgo, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that voluntary donation link open, right below the digital book. I continue to not receive a single cent for every message that comes out of here for you. That is why this link exists, so that another Virgo tomorrow finds exactly this message that found you today. Any amount that your heart points to. Each gesture like this keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach whoever needs it, exactly as it reached you today. There is a record that explains this. And now, with the path laid out before you, the name descends. For years, you have rationalized the sudden delays and the bizarre string of coincidences that always seem to strike right at your finish line. You convinced yourself that you just needed to work a little bit harder, be a little bit more prepared, or that you were somehow destined to struggle. But I need you to hear this with absolute clarity. The agonizing pattern breaking your momentum at the 99% mark is not a curse. It is not a punishment for a mistake you made. It is not a cosmic streak of bad luck. It is a direct, calculated energetic block called the invisible siege. This silent spiritual envy is projected by those who smile warmly to your face but secretly resent your immense light and potential. The universe did not send these heavy roadblocks to break you, Virgo. They were the undeniable physical symptoms of an energetic barrier built around you by the dense emotions of others. A heavy net designed to aggressively pull you backward at the last possible second. You have spent your entire life believing that your own social anxiety was making you exhausted around certain people. But that crushing weight was never yours to begin with. It was the invisible siege actively draining your field, feeding off the brilliant light you so desperately tried to hide. You must understand this profound law of protection right now. Envy cannot reach what it can no longer see. A spiritual siege only has power over your life as long as it remains invisible to your eyes. Imagine a massive, ancient, beautiful building standing the test of time. Everyone who walks by stops to admire the grand roof, the stained glass windows, and the intricate, flawless decorations. But deep underground, in the cold dark, there is one massive stone pillar holding the entire structure up. It bears all the immense weight, receives absolutely none of the praise, and when the earth shakes, it takes all the violent pressure in total silence. It never complains, it just holds. It holds everyone else together, ensuring they never have to feel the crushing impact. That is exactly where you are right now, Virgo, but the universe is finally shifting the weight off your tired shoulders. I saw you swallow your good news at that table because something warned you it wasn't safe. I watched you carry the heavy expectations of everyone around you while secretly crying from sheer exhaustion in the dark. I did not send you this heavy burden to break your spirit, but to teach you how to forge an unbreakable armor. The time of carrying the silent weight of others is over, and your massive reward is finally being released. There is a man who carried this exact same invisible siege for years. He worked twice as hard as everyone else in the room, constantly sacrificing his own peace just to make sure every single detail was perfect. Yet he always watched others effortlessly take the credit and the rewards, crying in sheer frustration behind closed doors when the doors slammed in his face at the 11th hour. And then, everything shifted for him. What changed wasn't his flawless work ethic. He didn't work any harder because that was impossible. His massive breakthrough happened the exact day he made the uncompromising decision to stop silently absorbing the heavy energy of others and to finally raise his spiritual shield. He learned to identify the hidden siege, and the very next time the unnatural exhaustion hit him, the energetic cords violently bounced off his protected aura. You are still processing this right now, feeling a deep, expansive release of pressure at the base of your neck as you finally realize that the heavy fog was never your fault. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name on it. The release you are feeling right now is just the beginning, Virgo, because understanding the hidden mechanism of this invisible siege is only half of the profound journey. The other half is recognizing exactly who you became in order to survive it for so long. For years, you have unconsciously adapted your own soul to carry a dense weight that was never yours to begin with, contorting your brilliant essence into shapes that would keep the fragile peace and protect the people around you. There are three distinct ways this heavy survival instinct has manifested in your daily life. The first is the hidden anchor, who takes all the heavy weight in total silence. Virgo carries, Virgo sustains. Virgo does not ask for help because they know everyone else would quickly crumble under the massive pressure. You became the unshakable pillar, holding the entire family or workplace together, quietly absorbing everyone's chaotic energy and emotional outbursts while completely sacrificing your own physical and mental peace. The second is the apologetic winner, who learned to drastically dim their own shine. You realized early on that your natural brilliance and flawless execution triggered an unnatural, freezing coldness in the room. So you started making yourself smaller, adding self-deprecating jokes to your massive victories, and desperately hiding your genuine joy, just so the people around you wouldn't feel threatened by your radiant light. And the third is the silent observer, who clearly sees the envy but refuses to speak up. Virgo sees absolutely everything. You notice the microscopic shift in their tone, the fleeting, resentful look, the forced smile that never actually reaches their eyes. But you swallow that sharp spiritual perception, choosing to play along with the heavy illusion, because confronting the silent sabotage feels far more exhausting than simply enduring it. But you do not have to endure it for one more second. Notice your chest right now. Take a slow breath and feel that warm, expanding release taking over your lungs. That sudden relief has a name, and it is called liberation. You have lived through all three of these archetypes, wearing them like heavy, uncomfortable armor just to survive the brutal crossing. But that agonizing survival phase is officially over. The universe is crowning you with the absolute right to finally put that heavy armor down and stand completely tall in your pure, vibrant, unprotected energy. To hold this new posture, you need the tools found in the great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo. It is available right now in the first pinned comment. This powerful identity that has just been declared over you needs to be actively sustained, because the Virgo who knows their own immense value, but does not fully understand the energetic siege that surrounds them, will quickly go back to carrying heavy, resentful looks, fake smiles, and hidden burdens that are simply not theirs. This digital book provides the exact profound foundation you need for sustaining the powerful, unbreakable identity that has just been declared over your life. It is not just about feeling a temporary wave of relief today. It is about keeping your sensitive energy field permanently sealed and entirely protected from the silent drain. Do not wait for that heavy look to return before you secure the truth that was just spoken over you. Secure your copy in the first pinned comment right now, and guarantee that the envy that pushed you to tears might be the exact proof that the universe has prepared a victory for you that is simply too massive to go unnoticed. I promised I would return to this, because before you step forward into this new reality, you need to know exactly how this cycle will try to pull you back in the dark, because it absolutely will try. Before you fully step forward into this new reality, you must know exactly how this heavy cycle will attempt to pull you back into the dark, because it absolutely will try. The invisible siege has studied your habits for years. It knows exactly where you are most vulnerable, and it will attempt to disguise itself in the most familiar, innocent-looking ways to test the new boundaries you are setting today. The first tactic is the sudden doubt that perfectly mimics your own voice, quietly telling you that you are not good enough to receive this blessing. It uses your classic Virgo perfectionism against you, making you overanalyze every tiny detail until you talk yourself out of your own victory. When that heavy thought drops into your mind, you will use your first weapon. Touch the center of your forehead, breaking the energetic loop, and say aloud, "My mind is my protected sanctuary." Feel the immediate shift in your thoughts as the intrusion bounces off your aura. The second tactic often arrives exactly when you are finally moving forward, a sudden text message from someone from your past, reaching out right as you are stepping into your new life. They will act as if nothing happened, desperately trying to reconnect and drain your newly freed energy. Do not fall for the illusion. Use your second weapon. Say aloud, "I leave the past exactly where it belongs," and then delete the message without replying. You owe no explanations to the energy that kept you trapped. The third tactic is the overwhelming urge to downplay your recent success just to make someone else in the room feel comfortable. For some of you, this happens at family dinners where your growth is met with awkward silence. For others, it happens in corporate meetings where your flawless execution triggers deep insecurities. When you feel that familiar, tragic urge to shrink, use your third weapon. Stand up straight, roll your shoulders back, and say aloud, "I absolutely own my light." Watch how their hidden envy violently bounces off your shield and returns directly to them. These three weapons protect you from what I managed to show you today. But the cycle has more layers than can fit in one video. To make sure you are never caught off guard again, you need the complete protection mapped out in the great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo. You need to know exactly what to do when the loud praise comes with a hidden sting, when the big opportunity stalls again at the final hour, when the nameless exhaustion returns after certain conversations. This digital book, available right now in the first pinned comment, provides the complete blueprint of spiritual protection you need, so this siege can never catch you off guard again. Because you simply cannot afford to keep bleeding your brilliant energy every single time the environment around you shifts. I am not rushing you, I am warning you. Do not wait for the invisible siege to tighten its grip again before you open this map. This specific cosmic window is open right now for a very profound reason, and this configuration will not wait for your hesitation to pass. Secure your copy right now, before the cycle attempts another block. And now, I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. Let your shoulders drop. I know you are used to keeping them tense, bracing for the next sudden roadblock, waiting for the other shoe to drop right at the finish line. Take a slow, deep, deliberate breath and allow your physical body to finally relax the invisible muscles it has been keeping tight for years. You do not need to analyze anything in this exact moment, Virgo. Just lower your guard completely, because the exhausting battle you have been fighting in absolute silence is already over. Close your eyes for just 5 seconds. Imagine a thick, heavy, grey fog that has been wrapped tightly around your shoulders, your neck and your chest for so long that you genuinely thought it was a part of you. Now, visualize a blinding, warm, golden light descending rapidly from above, shattering like glass right through that dark fog. Feel the sudden, beautiful release of pressure at the base of your neck. Notice how your lungs can finally take a full, deep, expansive breath without that strange restriction holding you back. The invisible cords are being cut, one by one. The fog is dissolving into absolutely nothing. Your energy field is finally clear, and the heavy siege is permanently broken. Now, it is time to consciously let it all go. Release the unspoken judgments of those who could never match your flawless, meticulous effort. Release the heavy guilt of finally outgrowing the places and the people that demanded you stay small. Release the agonizing fear of shining too brightly and attracting the storms of hidden resentment. Release the invisible cords of envy that kept you tied to the unrealistic expectations of people who secretly wanted to see you fail. Let it all fall to the ground. You do not need to carry it into tomorrow. The survival masks you wore are officially retired today. The hidden anchor is stepping down. You will no longer take all the heavy weight in total silence, while everyone else effortlessly takes the credit. The apologetic winner is standing up straight. You will never again drastically dim your own brilliant shine or swallow your good news just to make someone else in the room comfortable. The silent observer is finally stepping into their power. You will no longer swallow your sharp spiritual perception when you clearly see the hidden envy hiding behind a warm smile. You are claiming your absolute right to stand completely tall in your radiant light. Before we fully seal this, write down below the name of someone you are carrying with you in this heavy crossing. Or if it is for you, write in one sentence what you are expecting the universe to return to you. I will read it. And you will not write this alone. Don't release this energy just yet. We are not done. Stay with me. I seal your physical space against the draining energy of silent envy that tries to enter uninvited. I seal your flawless, tireless work against the hidden resentment of those who secretly hope to see you fail. I seal the massive, life-changing victory that is already on its way to you, ensuring that no invisible siege can ever delay or block it again. We who carry in silence know exactly what it costs to be the hidden anchor for everyone else. We understand the profound, bone-deep exhaustion of holding the entire structure together while receiving absolutely none of the praise, silently absorbing the chaotic, heavy energy of every room we enter just to maintain the fragile peace. I saw you swallow your good news at that table because something warned you it wasn't safe. We watched you instinctively dim your own brilliant shine, constantly adding self-deprecating jokes to your massive victories, desperately trying to shrink your radiant light, just so the people around you wouldn't feel so intimidated and threatened by your potential. We have felt that sudden, heavy drop in energy after a seemingly warm conversation, the crushing weight that hits your shoulders when you finally realize that not every smile around you is entirely genuine. We know the agonizing pain of the stolen finish line, watching the perfectly executed plan completely fall apart at the very last second, and carrying the heavy guilt of endlessly overthinking what we did wrong. But we also know that the era of constantly apologizing for our own brilliance is officially over. The invisible siege that kept us trapped in that exhausting survival mode has been completely shattered today, and the universe is finally releasing the massive, undeniable rewards we have silently earned in the dark. The sudden doubt that perfectly mimics your own voice, telling you that you are not good enough, ends here. The sudden text message from the past, reaching out right as you step into your new life, ends here. The overwhelming urge to drastically downplay your success just to comfort others ends here. Virgo has never been cold. Virgo is not envied for being demanding. Virgo is envied for quietly delivering what others only promise out loud. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you, I saw you swallow your good news at that table because something warned you it wasn't safe. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of something before we seal this. What was cut here today is real, but you must be deeply prepared for that heavy stare that will try to sit on your shoulders again tomorrow morning. The invisible siege will attempt to convince you that absolutely nothing has changed, projecting that same old exhaustion right back into your field the moment you wake up. But you will not walk into that battlefield alone tomorrow, because you have the great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo. It is available right now in the first pinned comment, and it is the exact complete blueprint you need for upholding the unbreakable armor you just forged in this crossing, so it isn't lost by tomorrow. Do not let your guard down when the environment shifts. Do not wait for tomorrow's challenges to test the energetic shield you just built today. Secure your copy immediately and guarantee that your light remains entirely protected. There are thousands of Virgos listening to this right now, in the exact same silence as you. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel, not for numbers, but because the next message in this series will look exactly for those who have already crossed this first one. In the next video of this series, I will show you the exact sign that appears 3 days before the spiritual siege fully collapses, and why almost every Virgo completely ignores it. Do not miss it. And still in this video, Virgo, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to. And the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees, and the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when that heavy look tries to return, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of spiritual envy, and it is already within your reach. The invisible wall of glass is finally complete around your lighthouse, protecting your brilliant flame from the violent storms forever. Now, you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen, was seen. What was cut, was cut. Walk light, Virgo.